Don't skip. She'll never tell you, she'll never say it out loud. But when desire takes over, her body does all the talking. And if you're not trained to see it, you'll miss the signals. You'll misread the moment. And worse, you'll chase when you should have let her chase you. The truth is brutal but simple. A woman doesn't need to say she wants you. Her nervous system will show it. This isn't about looks, it's not about money. It's not even about the words you say. It's about how you carry yourself when you hold the right frame. Her subconscious slips and the signals start leaking out of her before she even realizes it. Today, I'll show you the 6 rawest, most uncontrollable signs that she's turned on, turned up and tuned into you, whether she knows it or not. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never misread the heat in her. Again. Number 1, her eyes drop, then snap. Her eyes drop, then snap away. The eyes never lie, not when desire takes control. When a woman is aroused in glance, you don't use it as permission. You don't pounce. You hold your posture. You stay anchored. You let the tension cook her curiosity until she breaks the silence. Because when you stay centered, her glances become longer. Her silence becomes louder. And soon her desire has no place to hide. Number 2, crossed legs, and the power of the pelvic lock and the power of the pelvic lock. When a woman crosses her legs while talking to you, most people think it's just posture, comfort-style manners. They have no idea they're looking at a biological lock, a subtle move from her hips, but it's her nervous system screaming. One thing, I feel exposed, and I like it more than I want to admit. Let's break this down from the lens of Stoic psychology and primal wiring. The pelvic lock. When a woman becomes aroused, her body starts shifting, especially in her lower half. The thighs tighten, the pelvis rolls slightly forward, and the legs, they cross, but not to block you. It's the opposite. She's not defending herself. She's regulating desire. She's creating pressure where she feels tension down there. It's called muscular guarding, and it's real. When you hold frame and exude calm presence, you trigger this involuntary reaction. She suddenly feels hyper-aware of her body. She wants control, so she adjusts, crosses, presses. If she's seated, she may squeeze her thighs, subtly shift positions without reason, even bounce her foot slightly from the tension building internally. This isn't just body language, it's biology talking out loud. And here's where most men blow it. They lean in, they crowd her space, they start talking faster, trying to confirm what they just sensed, but that kills the polarity. A Stoic man does none of that. He watches, observes, stays rooted, and in doing so, he magnifies her internal chaos. The more calm you are, the more undone she becomes, because that crossed leg, it's not rejection, it's containment. Her energy is folding inward, and if you keep your frame strong, that tension won't just sit in her legs, it'll explode in her thoughts later when you're no longer there. She'll remember how she fidgeted, how her thighs stayed clenched, how you never even blinked. And in her mind, you become the one who knew without her ever needing to say a word. The tone shift that exposes hidden desire. Number 3, the tone shift that exposes hidden desire. You don't need to hear the words. You don't need to see a confession. You just need to feel the way she sounds when you're around. Because when she's turned on, when she feels your energy, when your presence makes her heart rate spike just a little too fast, her voice gives her away. She'll talk, but it won't sound the same. It'll get lighter, softer, slower, or even higher, depending on how her nervous system processes the tension. It's a survival response, not consciously controlled. Her throat loosens, her pitch rises, or her words get slightly breathy. Why? Because arousal sends energy through her autonomic nervous system. It causes subtle shifts in breathing tempo and tone. Her voice reflects her inner state. And if you're dialed in, if you're centered, watching, not trying to impress, you'll notice the moment it hits 1 second she's normal. Then suddenly she's lighter, playful, giggly without cause, or speaking with pauses that seem to hang in the air. Sometimes she'll ask questions she doesn't even care about, just to hear herself speak near you. That's her body craving interaction without logic. That's subconscious seduction. And what do most men do? They talk faster, they joke louder, They try to match her playfulness, and just like that, she's out of it. Because the moment you lose your tone, she loses her frame. But a stoic man, he doesn't mirror. He grounds deeper. He lets her swirl in her vocal rhythm while he remains the anchor. And what happens? Her voice drops again. She leans in more. She slows down like a woman who doesn't want the moment to end, because when a woman's voice changes in your presence, she's not adjusting to sound cute. She's adapting to your dominance. And if you stay composed, that vocal chemistry turns into unspoken heat. No touching, no flirting, just tension, building through the simple sound of her desire trying to stay hidden. Number 4, when she touches herself. Not the way you think. When she touches herself. Not the way you think she's talking, you're locked in. But suddenly she brushes her neck, touches her wrist, plays with her ring, rubs her thighs, pulls at her sleeve, and you wonder, is she just fidgeting? Is she bored? No, she's regulating her nervous system because your presence is triggering it. Let's get brutally honest when a woman feels subtle arousal or tension in your presence. Her body needs to do something with that energy, but since she can't yet act on it directly, she turns inward, and her hands, they become her relief mechanism. She'll stroke her collarbone, rub her palms, touch her lip, hold her neck, slide her fingers along her leg or thigh, adjust her bra strap under her sweater when it didn't move. Why? Because arousal needs release, and when the source of the tension you isn't flinching, she turns to the only place she can control her own body. It's unconscious, automatic, but explosive. If you know what you're looking at, here's the secret. Watch where her fingers go. If they hover near sensitive areas, her throat, inner wrist, thighs, mouth, you're triggering her pleasure zones whether she admits it or not. And the more she touches herself around you while you stay silent, still composed, the more she's thinking about you in ways she won't say out loud. But here's where the real attraction builds. You don't respond, you don't shift, you don't tease or call it out. You hold eye contact, you maintain your energy, and you let the tension speak for itself. Because when a stoic man sees a woman touching herself out of instinct, he knows what it means, but he doesn't need to exploit it. Why? Because her doing that is already the confession. She's not flirting, she's coping. She's reacting to your centered masculinity in the only way her body knows how. And if you can remain calm through it, she'll crave the one thing she can't get from herself. Your command over her energy. Number 5. Her legs move, but she's not going. Her legs move, but she's not going anywhere. You're sitting near her, you're not touching. You're not even speaking much. But look down. Her foot is bouncing, her knee is twitching, her thighs are shifting positions every 30 seconds. And here's what most men don't realize. She's not uncomfortable, she's not bored, she's not trying to leave. She's trying to manage the pressure you're building without saying a word. Let's break this down raw. When a woman is turned on, and subtly or deeply, and she's not yet ready to express it out loud, that energy builds in her lower body. It's called psychoat agitation, a form of tension where the body reacts to arousal through movement, especially in areas connected to reproductive or emotional response zones. So when her legs are bouncing or she's crossing and uncrossing them repeatedly, she's not anxious, she's stimulated. Her brain is working hard to manage the hormonal cascade. Your presence just triggered dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline. It's not about escaping, it's about containing. And if you're a stoic man, present, composed, and emotionally grounded, you're not reacting to it, you're simply watching it build. That's what makes you dangerous in the best way, because most guys would take that moment to lean in, crack a joke, try to break the tension. They'd see it as a signal to do something, but you let the silence expand. You let her squirm a little, you stay relaxed, anchored, unshaken, and that stillness makes her movement even more obvious, not just to you, but to herself. She notices her leg won't stop. She notices how self-aware she's becoming, and that awareness becomes a feedback loop of attraction and curiosity. She starts thinking, why am I moving so much? Why do I feel like this around him? Why won't he flinch? And that's where the real fire starts, not in her body but in her mind, because women fall into arousal not just from physical stimulation, but from psychological exposure. And when her body reacts without her permission, while you stay fully composed, you become more than attractive. You become the trigger. She can't control. She overtalks, then says nothing. Number 6. She overtalks, then says nothing. The final confession. She was chatty, playful, energetic, asking questions, sharing details. And now, silence. She's quiet. She's pulling inward. She stares at her hands. She breaks eye contact. She zones out for a moment, like she's in her own head. What just happened? This is the final phase of internal desire, the moment when her mind becomes so aware of your presence that it short-circuits her ability to hide it. She's no longer talking to entertain. She's not trying to impress. She's not on anymore. She's processing that sudden switch from oversharing to retreating is her psyche, responding to the rising pressure inside her. You didn't touch her. You didn't escalate. You didn't chase you. Just existed, and that existence forced her to confront herself. Now here's where most men ruin it. They panic during the silence. They think the energy died, so they force conversation, make a joke, break the moment. Don't do it because that silence, that's not awkwardness, it's attraction deepening. She's playing the scene in her head. She's wondering why she can't shake the feeling she's now aware of every breath, every blink, every second she's near you. This is the moment where your control defines the rest of the dynamic. You don't lean forward. You don't fill the space, you just let her sit in the intensity of what you are. Because when she overtalks, she's trying to avoid her own feelings. And when she goes silent, she's finally feeling them fully. That's when she starts fidgeting again. That's when her breathing shifts. That's when she gives you that one long look, then looks away fast. Because now she knows what's happening. She's wet. She's drawn in. She's craving something. She doesn't even understand yet. And the man who knows all of this, the man who can read the signs, who doesn't pounce, who stays calm through every signal, becomes the man. She can't stop imagining. You've just learned how to read the signs. Most people never notice. Not because women hide them, but because men are too distracted to see, but not you. Not anymore. You now understand that attraction is silent. First dash, before it ever becomes spoken. It lives in her legs, in her voice, in her glance, in the way her body shifts, just because you're still. This is the game. Few ever play, because it requires discipline, presence, and control. Not manipulation, not tricks, just awareness. The more you stay composed, the more her energy reveals itself, and the more tension you let build, without chasing, without flinching, without reacting. The more she will feel you without a single word spoken. That's stoic psychology, that's silent power. That's how you make her wet with presence alone. If this video hit something deep, drop a comment right now. Power is silent. Let others know you've stepped into a new level of awareness. Subscribe for more stoic truths, psychological fire, and red pill wisdom. Share this with a brother who's still talking too much. And if you want these insights to keep flowing weekly, your presence, her gaze becomes unstable. She wants to look but doesn't want to be caught. She wants to take you in but doesn't want to seem obvious. So what does her body do? It betrays her. Her pupils dilate. She holds eye contact just a second too long. Then looks down fast, sharp, like her brain pulled the emergency brake. Why down? Because evolution hardwired her to signal surrender with that glance. A downward glance is primal. It's submission. It's a silent you lead. And when she does it without thinking, it's not just shyness, it's arousal, hiding behind etiquette. Watch closely. You enter a room, you lock eyes. She glances down, then quickly busies herself with anything nearby, phone, bag, hair. She's not disinterested. She's processing your presence through her instincts. That glance down is the nervous system saying, I feel his energy, and I don't know what to do with it. But here's what separates the grounded from the desperate. You don't chase that.